You're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio, featuring the Interactive Interview, courtesy of WrestlingEpicenter.com. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Interactive Wrestling Radio right here on WrestlingEpicenter.com. It is James Walsh with you, and I just wanted to be upfront, completely upfront with you. I messed up a little bit with this one. ODB's audio is all there. However, for some reason, some of my audio got lost, so I had to go back and re-record it. You might be able to, when you're listening to it, hear where I redubbed myself. I don't know what I did. I just don't know what I did. But the good news is we had all of her audio, and we just cleaned it up and made it sound as natural as possible. So keep that in mind. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoy this wonderful interview with ODB. Her new book is out right now. The title's a little rough. It's called Jessica Creesa, ODB, One Dirty B-Word. Available through Walking on Hot Waffles and, of course, ODB's official website. Enjoy, and here we go.
Hey, you guys, this is Mickey James, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter.
Welcome back to Interactive Wrestling Radio. Joining us right now on the Newsmaker line is one of my favorite guests of all time. She is a Impact Wrestling legend and has a new book out on Walking on Hot Waffles. She is ODB. Are you with me, man?
Oh, thank you. I'm good. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. Hey, thank you for asking. So the reason for bringing you back on is you have a book out. The first of the knockouts to write a book, and that, of course, is the Jessica Creesa is ODB, One Dirty B-Word. It's on Walking on Hot Waffles. What made you make the decision to release this autobiography?
Yes, because that's kind of like a decision. You just either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. So, actually, I reached out to my good friend Mick Foley because he's an awesome guy that wrote a book and bestseller. So I was like, well, shit, I'll reach out to him. And he came to my food truck. I was in Florida with it at the time in 2020. And he came out and sat down with me and then gave me a number to a publisher. And then everything was history. Like we just started it, and took about a year and a half from start until it was all published and all up. And it was fun. Not a lot of people get scared writing their story, writing their book, but I don't have a sad story. So it was kind of fun. Like I have a hard working story. That's what I call it. And it was fun writing. Like it was just thinking, a lot of stuff I forgot about. So it's kind of fun to relive some moments and not some moments, but
Awesome. And like I said, you're the first. You're the first person really to write a book and really smash open the doors and talk about Impact Wrestling in book form. And you're the first knockout as well to do it.
Yes, I am the very first actual TNA knockout to do one. And I hope this opens the door for more of the girls to share their story. And with the stories, like it just like in our era too, it was so different from nowadays. And we have such a good era. And I think people need to hear those stories more, And they're not bad stories. They're just entertaining, and this is how it was for us back in the day. I don't think wrestling's changed a lot, which it's going to change, but I think we were in that good era where we didn't have much social media, so it was very different back in the day.
I know Madison Rain doesn't like this question, but do you feel that the Impact Wrestling, the TNA Knockouts division, really shaped what we see now with the evolution or revolution of women's wrestling in the United States?
Oh, hell yeah. I had girlfriends that were in WWE at the same time, and they're like, yeah, we watched you girls. You guys were the start of it. Oh, yeah, I love that question, actually. Hell yeah, we were the start of it because we were so TNA let us be us, and we all had characters, and Vince Russo, Dutch Mantell, were a big part of that, and Jeff Jarrett, and they gave us TV time, and we were just as part of the show as the men were. Our segments were higher than a a lot of them. So it was cool. Like, but we all worked together. That was the best part. Like, and we're all still friends to this day. And we all work together because there's no I in team, you know. Like, it took all of us to build that division.
Kenny Casanova is the guy who runs Walking on Hot Waffles, and I'm a little jealous of him. He gets to do a lot of these great projects. Did you enjoy working with Kenny to do this?
I did. Because basically every week, a couple times a week, getting interviewed, and yeah, he was great. Like, and I'm getting great reviews because the book came out late September, so basically October 1st, and people are reading it basically in one day. A lot of people say it's an easy read, and he's a great publisher and a writer. Like, he just did, even when I was reading it right away, like, I was nervous reading my own story. I was like, oh boy. But reading it, I could hear my voice. I could hear my little chuckle. And he did such a freaking amazing job. Like, and I already want to write a second book.
Like any good interviewer, I did my research, and I saw in another interview you said the book is overwhelmingly positive, but you did put in a FU in there. Just one FU. Would you tell me who it is?
Yep. I'm not telling you who it is. Yes, but it was obviously at TNA, the good old days. But it's from, my point of view and my experience, and I'll never do business with that person. So I had no problem sharing my story, and that's what it's all about. Like, I didn't bury anyone in my book, Yeah, like I did, and a lot of women in the past have written books like, oh, this is all these guys I banged. It's like, really? Like, come on now. Like, no one really, yeah, I don't want to hear that shit. But it's just different. Like, when you're actually like a true worker, and get treated like one of the boys, it's cool to, see that side and hear the stories of what a woman worker went through. So, yeah. But I think people will get a kick out of it. Some people, I have a lot of people that aren't wrestling fans reading the book. And, of course, they don't know some of the lingo. They don't know half the people I'm talking about, but they still laughed and cried even in a couple chapters. But, yeah.
What do you think of the success of women's promotions like the new WOW and Maria Kanellis' new promotion?
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've never seen the new WOW, so I don't know. I mean, I know a couple girls that are in it, but yeah, I think great that it's more work for women that just want to do that and be just an all women show. It's a great place for women to start too and get their character out. Like, I know it's all kind of character driven too, and yeah. And it's fun because I know they always wanted to try to do, the glow and all that stuff and bring it back. And this is obviously kind of like that. And I think it's cool that it's another place for the women to work.
The first time I had you on, you were working for Jimmy Hart. You were actually bartending at his hotel and restaurant. And I just want to know, what is it like to have worked for Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South himself?
Oh, boy, yep. Oh, I love every time we see him. It's like we just saw each other. It's great. I saw him about a year ago, I think, at WrestleCade. So that's usually like a big reunion for us in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for all of us. And he's great. Like, Jimmy Hart, just because I got to basically be with him for, not like that, but like in 2 years, I was working with him at his bar / hotel, and seeing Jimmy Hart every morning, it's just like it was pretty badass to be able to work with someone, that close and a Hall of Famer, and seeing a different side of him, like seeing him without his shades on, without his megaphone and suit coat. But it was fun doing business with him. And I think he enjoyed having me around, and, I basically ran his bar, and it was a good experience. And then that's obviously how the food truck got started, because I started it right outside there in Daytona. So it yeah, good experience that many people probably aren't going to have in their life.
One of our readers, Archie Willoughby, says that you years ago served him one of the best burgers he's ever had, and he wants to know where the food truck is going to be in the next couple weeks, in the next couple months, and if you're ever coming back to North Carolina.
Actually, I don't even do burgers anymore. When I first started, it's basically my specialty is pork, everything smoked meat, like brisket, pork, and chicken. Yep. But I remember when I first started, I was doing like homemade burgers, but then I was like, what the hell am I doing? And then I turned it around, and now it's basically all barbecue. But yeah.
We had you on a couple of years ago. Time really flew fast, and it was to promote that Impact Wrestling was bringing you back, and we're going to present you with a payment for the burned food truck. Is Impact Wrestling home to you?
Yep, they'll always be my home. They they made ODB, and they let me be me, and I'm very thankful for that. And I will always, even though I did a little thing in Ring of Honor, and I did one thing in AEW, but yeah, Impact is where my heart will always be. I mean, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a big food truck business, and ODB brand, who knows what it would be at, if I didn't have Impact. But I'm very thankful for them, and for them to, have me come back, and then they raised money for the food truck and gave me a nice little check, and it wasn't little, it was a very nice check, and I was like, damn. I'm like, all right, cool. That's very, yes, that company is very true to their originals. Yes, I believe that. Even like with now, like with Joe going through what he's going through, and it's great that they support their family, and I love that about them.
Everybody always says they want that WWE moment, that WrestleMania moment. Would you ever consider going to WWE?
Oh boy. Yeah, on my terms. Yeah. I've never, obviously I wasn't their cup of tea, and they have contacted me a while back, and it just wasn't, timing wasn't right, I guess. And then I would love, my dream in any company would be to have me drive my food truck right into the frickin' arena.
OnlyFans is a thing right now, and it's kind of confusing for male wrestling fans, but it's not brand new. You were a part of the original version of that, the last incarnation of Wrestling Vixens. What do you think about women's wrestlers using OnlyFans at the moment to supplement their income, if you will?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I think nowadays, like, any woman wrestler is stupid not to do like OnlyFans or Brand Army. Like, it's just great. Like, why? People post. I'm not a sexy photo shoot person. I don't spend every day in a freaking bikini, Like, I'm sexy in a different way. I'll be on my food truck, barbecue sauce on a white T-shirt, whatever. But like, I don't see why, because wrestling's not going to last forever, and you got to get your brand out there. And like, a lot of wrestling girls do all that stuff, and I think every wrestler should have something. Like, I do a Brand Army, and I'm thinking about frickin' starting an OnlyFans thing, but not like that stuff. But I'll share my recipes. I'll share life of a food trucker.
Back to the book, Walking on Hot Waffles. You can buy it now, also through your official website. It has a message that's a little different. You're not just telling tales and backstabbing stories and things like that. You're telling your story, and it's an uplifting story with a lot of attitude and vibe to it. Was that something you guys had the interest of doing? Not doing the usual book, but telling it in a uplifting way?
Yes, right away, actually, and Kenny will say the same thing too. Right away, I said, I want people to have takeaways from this book, and basically each chapter. And I made sure each chapter I kind of talk about it at the end of each chapter. Like, all right, during this time, this helped me because, it's just like, setting goals. My work ethic is, off the chain, and I've always worked hard for what I wanted, and then, not letting others get in my way. I always fought for it. And then the one thing too is like the focusing on, like, a lot of people just go after something because, they think they're going to make so much money. And like being a wrestler, I'm going to make it big time and I'm going to make money. Well, it doesn't really happen that way sometimes, And like, I just focus on putting on a good product, doing something, and then eventually the success and money will come because I did that. Like, people just go at, because I get it all the time. People look at my food truck. Oh my God, you must just be rolling in the money, blah, blah, blah. Your lines are unbelievable, and I want one of these. Well, it took me a long time to get where I'm at on my food truck right now, and it's still not where I want to be. So it just keeps, just keep working hard, and then all that stuff will follow, success and money. And the main thing is don't be a little bitch in life.
Another reader question would be, for fans that may have not seen your entire career, is there one match that you would say you wanted them to see, that's the match that you look back on as the best of your career?
Oh boy, I actually have a bunch of, but if you're going to look at, Lordy, I don't know which one I would look at. Anyone with more like, a good one that stands out is me, Gail Kim, and Mickey James did a 3-way. That is a good, because the three of us were so different. I was, had this big character. Gail had everything, very technical wrestler. And then good old Mickey James just was, had it all too. And it just like when you put the three of us in a ring, you're like, oh yeah, these are three chicks going at it, and like good, just told a good story. That's the main thing. Like, I always told a good story, and it also goes to the people I was in the ring with.
And the final question is, where can people get a hold of this book? Where can they get it? Is it on Amazon? Is it on your official site?
Yes, and then you also can go to my website, the odbsmeetandgreet.com, and then get your personalized book from me. I'm off my site. So if people are interested in that, they can go right to my website. Barbecue sauce, too. Yep, odbsmeetandgreet.com, and get some barbecue sauce and a book.
This is Interactive Wrestling Radio.
Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Interactive Wrestling Radio. Oh, for us.
Featuring the interactive interview.
Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Interactive interview. Oh yeah.
Formerly The Blaze.
The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze. The Blaze rock.
You're a maniac, so what you gonna do when the Blaze of Mania runs wild on you?
On WrestlingEpicenter.com.
Wrestling Epicenter.
Wrestling
Epicenter. Wrestling
Epicenter.
Wrestling Epicenter.
Wrestling Epicenter. The Wrestling Epicenter. Don't get off.
And now we shamelessly name drop from our history.
The Wrestling Epicenter would like to apologize for the following.
All right, everybody. Viva la raza. Viva la raza.
Hey, y'all.
Hello, ladies.
Hey guys, we had a lovely conversation.
First lady.
Absolutely. Oh, look at me. He's so kooky.
Be there. Where else?
Interactive
Wrestling Radio.
Wrestling.
Epicenter.
Oh my God, you win! Love being interactive.
I was not shooting. Yeah. I almost missed my fan. Breaking neck. I got 2 words for you. I've heard a lot about you guys. Let's go. I see my language. Getting over the shot. No. Into the many.
No nerves.
That was great. It's going to be cool. What it's all about. The purest point of view. The living legend. Champion. Arrogant.
Jesus makes me.
Instead of statement, I'm talking to you.
So gladly without you.
Yeah.
In the land of extreme.
That's Interactive 5. Never more. Interactive interview. I'm not just the best. Interactive interview with a plastic.
You earned the right.
Nobody. You better keep listening. Thank you very much. Controversy creates cash. Professional wrestling.
Made in the USA, baby.
Memphis wrestling. The guy on fire.
We were sexy.
What a show.
The one and only.
Interactive Wrestling Radio.
Wrestling Epicenter.
Interactive interview. We took care of the business. This isn't ballet. We are huge with this whole. You're where it's at. You better recognize who's the best. Make sure you tune in each and every week. I'll come out of your computer, knock down your door, and turn it on for you. Or else I'm going to kick your stinking teeth in. And that's the bottom line.
Have a nice day. It's showtime.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.